Everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the 25 Days of Linux. Today we're going to be taking a look at VPM, which is supposed to be a set of aliases for Void, or the XPS package manager. So, I guess the first thing we need to do is get access to a Void machine here. We're on Arch Linux, of course, which gives me an opportunity to answer a question that a couple of people have asked, and that's about SSHing into a virtual machine, basically. So you can see here, actually, this is the exact setup that I have right now. I have XPS, Void Linux, just running in a virtual machine right here. It's literally just the base install. There's not even a desktop environment or anything else installed on here. And if I take a look at the settings for Void Linux, or for VirtualBox, I can show you how this is done. So here's the VirtualBox settings here. What you want to do is come over to network, and actually before you do that, what you want to do, and you can do this in Void or in Arch or anything, is you can run a command called IPA, and what you're looking for here is underneath the loopback device, the actual network interface, in my case it's ENP5S0, is going to have an INET address, which in this case is 192.168.1.147. Then once you have that address, what you want to do is come to the network, come over to advanced, click on port forwarding, and you just need to set up the following. So it's just a rule. TCP is the method. You want the host IP to be 127.0.0.1. That way it'll sort of loop back to, home, your system. I set the host port here to 2222, and then the guest IP, which is the IP of the guest machine, is what you would want to put in the output of the IPA command. Just whatever the INET address is from your virtual machine, and you just want to set that guest port to 22. And then from there, what you should be able to do is just SSH in. So you're going to SSH in to the user at the IP address, which is going to be 127.0.0.1-P to specify a port, and 2222. You can see it's going to ask for a password, and I am now in the Void Linux virtual machine that I just have set up. So then from here, let's go ahead and pull up the VPM website. This is the VPM webpage on GitLab, and it gives you some installation instructions, a couple other things. Basically, the idea here is this is kind of sort of just an advanced set of aliases for the XPS package management system. These guys that are developing this point out the same thing that I pointed out in my video, I think, which is that, maybe XPS as a package manager is great. There's definitely reasons people like it, but it does have sort of a steep-ish learning curve compared to other package managers. This sort of just aims to solve that problem. So if we scroll down a bit, you can probably find some installation instructions. It looks like the first thing we need to do is install a program called xtools. So what we could do here is sudo xbps install xtools. Give it a password, let it continue. So xtools is basically the equivalent of installing, I'm forgetting the name of the package on Arch and Ubuntu, but it's basically just like the developer tools that let you build apps. Once you have installed that, what you can go ahead and do is just grab this git clone link, and you see the reason we needed to install xtools is because we're actually going to be building this app from source. Paste that bad boy in. I'm just going to put it right in the home directory. I don't think it really matters too much where you make it. And then once you've done that, you could list, and you see we do have a VPM folder now. If we go ahead and CD into that folder, let's see here. Got a make file, a readme, a couple other things. What we should need to do is just do make install, or in this case, sudo make install. And I think we're good. I'm going to CD out of the VPM folder, clear, and we could try to just run VPM, sudo VPM. It's saying permission denied for some reason, so that's not ideal. I don't quite know what's going on here. If we go to super user, put in a password, we'll try to run user local bin VPM. The command isn't found. Are you with me right now? Oh shit. Okay. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong here, but I actually did just happen to notice I did a XPS query -rs and search for VPM, and it is literally right there in the XPS repository. So let's CD into that VPM folder. We'll just do make uninstall, or sudo make uninstall, and then CD out, remove -rf the VPM folder, and then we could just do sudo xbps install VPM. And then if we run VPM, okay, And then now if I pop that back into full screen, you can see when we load VPM, now it's installed. I'm not 100% sure what I was doing wrong there with the building on its own, but this is easier anyway. So you can see basically one of the main things it's doing is it's just giving you like sort of more common sense aliases, sort of, I guess is what you would say. Like, let's say we want to update our system. Normally we would have to do like xbps install, and then I think it's .su, something like that is how you do it. I don't even remember, but here we should be able to do VPM up. Or sudo VPM up, sorry. Give it a password, and now we're updating our whole system, right? So that's something that makes more sense. One of the other things that I'm noticing here is it's looking like rather than having to sort of pick between something like Pacman or something like Ubuntu, where Ubuntu's repository is really verbose and sort of makes sense to new users, whereas the Pacman package manager is built to be really sort of efficient on the keyboard and you don't have to type a lot, but can be a little more cryptic, is you're sort of getting both options. So, for example, I ran VPM up to update, but what I could also do is sudo VPM update to update as well. So let's see what else we could do here. VPM search or VPMS will search for something. So let's say, do we need to have BSPWM here? Hey, look at that, we got it, no biggie. So we could do VPM, I'm assuming install, or VPMI to install packages. So let's go ahead and just install BSPWM, Dunst, Alacrity. What else would we need? Polybar maybe. Oh, gotta do that as super user. And now we're running through that. We don't actually need to install all those packages. I mean, who cares? It's just a VM. And this does seem fairly full-featured. It seems to do everything that XBPS does or any other package manager does. You can list all the installed files on your system if I wanted to. VPMLS. Here's everything I have installed. Holy shit. 173 packages. That's pretty minimal. Like I said, this is super lightweight. There's not really much installed on it yet. I think if you're going to use Void, this is a pretty good way to do it. Like I said, the Void package manager is sort of weird and has a weird learning curve, and you can't even necessarily just look up a man page for XBPS because it's split into all these different commands and you don't always know which command to use. Do you use the XBPS install? Do you use the XBPS query? You know, if you just do XBPS and hit tab, you can see all the different individual commands that are associated with this one package manager. That's a very weird system, I feel like. And maybe it's great once you get used to using it, but certainly has kind of a big learning curve compared to the other package managers out there. I gotta say, I'm still not really getting what people like about Void Linux so much. I feel a little bit like I'm being left out of the joke a little bit or something. It does seem a bit like some of the things that people really like about Void Linux are things that I'm not super concerned with. They don't use systemd. They have their run it system that they use. People that don't like systemd really like that. I don't really care about that. I think on some level, this is maybe getting to the point of people getting super into the weeds about technical details. And if that's what you want to do, that's cool. I'm not going to like talk shit about it, but I still don't quite get what I'm missing here in terms of Void Linux, but whatever. People wanted the VPM video. You got it. One more video down. We're getting pretty close to the end of the series here, so check back here tomorrow for more videos. That's going to be it for this video, and yeah, see you in the next one.